Pros and cons of being a wedding videographer. What's up, guys? My name is Lalo. If you're new here, then welcome to the channel. This place is a community of creatives, and today we're talking about weddings and stuff like that. I wrote down some pros and cons of being a wedding videographer. I've been a wedding videographer for about 1.5 years now, and I have stumbled across some pros and cons of being a wedding videographer. You might be a photographer, videographer, or just anybody that wants to pick up a camera and get into this wedding space, and they want to know what they're getting into. What are the good stuff? What are the bad stuff? Let's talk about it. All right, let me get casual real quick because I'm a little stressed out right now. So should we start with the pros or cons? You want the bad news or the good news first? Good news. Okay. Here's the number one top pro for me. This is the best thing about being a wedding videographer. It is the people you meet. From the couple, of course, you meet so many wonderful couples from all different backgrounds, all different just places, and honestly, it is such a treat. The people you meet, the conversations you have, the stories you get to hear, they are one in a million. They are beautiful. They are wonderful. My wife and I do this together, and honestly, we have made friends from wedding videography. So that's really cool. Not just the couples, the vendors, the family members, the mom and dads of the couples, just all around a great time. But yeah, meeting people is such a pro for me. All right, here's the first con of being a wedding videographer. In my opinion, it is a stressful job, or it can be a stressful job sometimes. You can't mess up, in a sense. You can't really miss a shot. You can't get a do-over. They're not gonna redo the ceremony for you, or the grand entrance, or walk down the aisle for you again. So you really have to be sure and make sure that you are on the top of your game. You cannot mess up, or else you're screwed, or else the couple are screwed. So it is definitely a lot of stuff on the line. It is stressful. You're running around, getting your gear, setting up your camera for the next room that might have a different lighting. So you're constantly on the move. If you are not tired, if your knees aren't giving out by the end of the night, then you didn't do a good job. I'm just kidding. Or maybe you just have weak knees. But what I'm trying to get at, it is honestly a high level. It's a high stress. What is a word? Can you guys comment below what that word is? You know, when it's a high level, stress level, it's a high level. The second pro of being a wedding videographer is that it is a very adventurous job, a very adventurous career. What I mean by that is that not one wedding is the same. It might be the same outline, but not one wedding is the same. There are always things changing. People are doing different things, funny stuff, sad stuff, emotional moments. It is just a very adventurous job, and you never know what's going to happen on a wedding day. It's just so many things can go right, so many things can go wrong, and it's just a thing that keeps you on your toes, which can be fun for some people. For me, it is fun. Besides that, you get to also travel for wedding videography. If you get hired for a job that is across country or whatever, you are able to do that with your camera. Like my wife and I, we got to recently go to Vermont to film a wedding, and honestly, it was a dream come true. Being a wedding videographer is adventurous. You're gonna have fun. It's gonna be sad moments, emotional moments. For me, that's a pro. All right, let's get into the second con of being a wedding videographer. For me, the second con, it varies. It depends on who you work with. But number two for me is wedding vendors. Although that can be a very, very great thing, it can also be a very stressful thing because you are working alongside closely with other vendors. You are relying on them. You're relying on their expertise. You're relying on their efficiency, communication. You're relying on them being there for the couples, doing a great job, working alongside you. You're working with the DJs for the best audio for their wedding video. You're working with photographers to work alongside them and work together and have a good communication, a good environment, because not just communication, but you need to have a good atmosphere in the room. You don't want to have tension with your photographer that's so thick that even the couples can feel it. So far for me, I've had nothing but good experiences. Every vendor has been very helpful. Sure, little things come up here and there, but nothing to really get in the way of filming or making it a special video for your couple. At the end of the day, our goal is to make a beautiful wedding video for the couples. So whatever you got to do to make that happen, you got to make it happen. When you have a dream team, it just makes everything run smoothly and perfect and just makes a better video at the end. So vendors, let's be nice to each other. All right, the third con is that wedding videography can be a very competitive industry. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of photographers, wedding videographers, wedding anything and everything. So even though it is a con, this should push you to be unique, to be yourself, to have your own branding for your wedding business. Don't copy other people. You have to be yourself. You have to stand out from the crowd. Now, if you can stand out from the crowd by being yourself, being your own creative person, your own creative ideas, the way that you film video, the way that you colorize your videos, All of that is going to make your own editing style, your own wedding videography style, and that's going to help you stand out from the crowd. Now add that with great customer service, being very communicative, organized, professional, then I think you're going to be all right. The third pro of being a wedding videographer is that it is a very rewarding career. It's rewarding all around. Let's get rid of the elephant in the room. Yes, financially, it can be a very rewarding job if you price yourself correctly. Just because you're filming weddings does not mean you're making a good amount of money or even money to sustain you full time. Number two, it is rewarding as a person, as a human being. I think we are meant to be in community. So when you're around other people, working with teams, working with vendors, it can be very rewarding. Lastly, it is also rewarding in the sense that you are able to create this long-lasting film for these couples. They get to rewatch this a special day that they worked so hard to plan, to put together, not just financially, but with their time, gathering their friends and family to help out with it, just working with so many vendors and meetings. A lot of work gets put into these weddings, and as a videographer, being able to capture all those details, that is the most rewarding thing ever. But yeah, those are the pros and cons of being a wedding videographer. I hope this list kind of helped you guys a little bit make your decision whether or not you want to get into the wedding videography space. At the end of the day, it's all about your attitude and whether or not you're passionate about this. Try it out, see if you like it. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys very much. If you guys need a creative friend, like I said, I am here for you guys. Send me a DM on Instagram. I am here to help you guys out with anything and everything you guys need. Oh, and subscribe to my channel, please. I am trying to get to 400 subscribers. We are almost there, so let's get there. And thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.